and welcome back, you gorgeous lot. And today we are talking Garage Therapy 1 Snow Foam. Hello and welcome back, and that is right, you gorgeous lot. We are talking Garage Therapy 1 Snow Foam. Now, if you haven't heard of Garage Therapy, then where have you been hiding for the last year or so? They have been absolutely everywhere, on all over the social media, all over the other reviewers' pages. Specky, Paul Dolden rate this brand highly. Now, I have never tried any of their products up until today. Well, yesterday when I recorded. And it's not that I didn't want to. It was just the fact that they were at the back of my mind. I have so many other products, as you can see, to get through. It's just one of those brands that I thought I'll get there one day. Now, while I was at Waxstock, these guys had a stand there, and I couldn't resist buying the snow foam and the wax and a few other little bits. So that is what we are going to be looking at today. Now, it is £14 to buy as a litre. Depending on the dilution ratio, you could be using this at around 70p per wash, which is not a bad price for a snow foam if it works. We're going to find it out today. Now, this today is going to be sort of the comeback of the Fiat. If you haven't seen it on Instagram and you haven't seen on previous videos, the Fiat got wrote off. Some absolute melon reversed into our car, damaged the wing, damaged the door, and drove off. The insurance company wrote the car off, and I was like, really? So we kept the vehicle. I replaced the wing. I replaced the door. Big shout out to Paul Watson from Valiant Supplies for coming with me on that long old journey to pick the parts up. But they are on. The car is repaired, and I'm using it today. And I'm glad to have it back. Now, the car has done about 2,000 miles since its last wash. And we've been to a wedding. We went to Hull and back. We've been here, there, everywhere. You name it. We have been there in the last few months. So the vehicle is very, very dirty. And I decided yesterday, I was like, it's time for a wash. Now, it's been warm, as you all know. So I left it till quite late in the evening. So all day yesterday, we went out. We had a bit of fun. I even went on a bouncy castle. And when I got back, I decided it's time to wash the Fiat. So let's take a look at how dirty the Fiat is. Now, as you can see here, the Fiat actually looks quite clean. However, it's a really strange vehicle, this, because when it's dirty, it looks clean. I don't know why. It just kind of gives it a matte sort of look. However, when I come up close, you can see that the vehicle is actually covered in quite a thick layer of dirt, road grime, grit. It's also covered in a lot of stuff on the bonnet, from bird poo to, I mean, we've got a cherry tree and the birds keep eating the cherries off it and they keep pooing on the bonnet. The birds around here are an absolute buzz. It really winds me up because it starts to sort of stain the paintwork, these sort of little purple cherry spots everywhere. It really, really grinds my gears. Now, how will this snow foam stand up against all that 2,000 miles worth of road grime, grit, dirt, and bird poo on the vehicle? We are going to find out today. Now, I'm doing this in two different lances. I'll explain why a little bit later on. I'm using the MJJC Lance, and I'm using the Dodo Juice Lance. Now, I'm popping 75ml of product in with 425ml of water, as directed on the back of the bottle. Now, you can work out the PIR. You can just put 1 parts to 10 parts. But you can also follow directions on the back of the bottle for light soiling, medium soiling, heavy soiling, and you can go from there. Now, make sure you give your bottle a nice shake to make sure it's all mixed up and ready to go. And then I'm using one of my wife's measuring spoons from her baking. If you know her, don't tell her. Whatever you do, I will end up dead. And if she sees this, I'm sorry, babe. Love you. Anyway, I am popping 75ml into the Dodo Juice Lance and 75ml into the MJJC version 2 Pro Foam Lance. Now, you might notice there are stickers all over the MJJC Lance. They are liquid element stickers. I really liked them and I decided to stick them to my Lance to sort of zhuzh it up a little bit. But it is just the MJJC version 2 with a few stickers on it. Now, I'm topping the Dodo Juice up to 500ml. I'll put my finger there so you can see where the 500ml mark is. and so I can see where the 500mm mark is. That one is topped up, and we are going to top up the MJJC. Now, my biggest gripe with some of these lances is when a snow foam company says top it up with 2 to 3 inches in the bottom of the lance. Depending on what lance you've got, you can end up putting a lot more in one lance than you would another. Now, they are both topped up, and they are both ready to go. So first off, we're going to be rinsing the vehicle down, and I'm going to take a swipe with a makeup pad to see what dirt is left over after the rinse down. So as we start to rinse the vehicle down, I am going over every single panel, making sure I get rid of any of that loose dirt, grime and contamination. Not going to bore you, we're going to put it on super speed so you guys haven't got to sit around and watch me rinse the vehicle off. Now, as you can see, I'm coming in with a fresh, clean makeup remover pad. Again, if you know my wife, please don't tell her I'm using these. She will kill me. Now, this, as you can see, is very clean. I'm going to go over. The car has been rinsed. I'm going to do a swipe on the side of the bonnet. Just one swipe down, pushing as hard as I can, and seeing what dirt is removed onto this clean makeup pad. Now, as you can see, there is a lot of dirt still left over after just rinsing off with plain old water. And that is just one swipe down the bonnet, just pushing as hard as I can. So now we're going to move on to the MJJC Lance, and we are going to see how the MJJC Lance performs with this snow foam. Now, I'm making sure to give it a nice shake in the Lance bowl to make sure it's nice and mixed up. Now, the reason I have done this is because I've seen a lot of people complain about the MJJC Lance, not just with this snow foam, but with other snow foams in general. Now, as you can see, it is going on very thick. It's very much like sort of shaving foam consistency, and you can see it's going on quite thick. Now, as I go around the rest of the vehicle, you can see, by the time I've got to the other side of the vehicle, you can see here that the snow foam has already started to fall off in clumps in certain areas, leaving patches of paintwork that have not got any snow foam on them. Now, if you look here, you can see, as I go around the vehicle, there are large patches of paintwork that have no sort of snow foam covering those surfaces. And this is only after about a minute of the snow foam being on there. Now, this is what happens when you use a snow foam lance that over atomizes the snow foam. It makes it too thick, and once that snow foam hits the vehicle, it is too heavy to sort of fall down the vehicle, and also makes quite a dry foam, which means you're not getting that sort of contact on the paintwork that you want from a snow foam, basically rendering that snow foam useless. So it doesn't matter whether you're using Garage Therapy, whether you're using iDetail Pro, whether you're using Dodo Juice, if it is over atomized and it's too thick, you are not going to be getting enough contact on that paintwork, and it's not going to do the job that you want from a snow foam. As we go around the vehicle, you can see there are more dry patches, and again, this was only after a minute of it being on the paintwork. Now, if that snow foam is not making contact with that paint, then it is not doing the job it's meant to be doing. Now, if you see, as I come round to the other side, one of these patches is completely bare. If I run my finger over that patch, you can see that my finger is completely bone dry. This is a minute after the foam has gone on, which means that snow foam has not made any contact with that part of the paintwork for more than probably a minute. Now, I have left this again after doing that, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and I didn't feel comfortable leaving it any longer. It was drying on the paintwork far too quick. There was hardly any foam left on the vehicle. So I'm going to come round, I'm going to rinse that off, and we are going to go over with the Dodo Juice Lance. Now, you don't need to see me rinsing the whole vehicle off. You know how to rinse a vehicle off. You don't need to see that. So we're going to jump straight in to the Dodo Juice Foam Lance. Now, making sure to give it a nice shake to mix it up, we're going to pop it straight onto my quick release gun. This is the Auto Bright quick release gun. It is an absolute cracking quick release gun. And also, if you've got a Bosch machine, buy the Neil Flisk one. It will fit, as you can see in a previous video. Now, as you can see, once I start spraying it on, you can already see the difference. It is a nice thick foam still, but it is not like shaving foam. It's more like double cream. If you're American, heavy cream. Now, as you can see, it's gone on a nice consistent layer. It's gone nice and even. And by the time I get round the other side of the vehicle, there is still snow foam on the vehicle. It hasn't fallen off. It hasn't left major dry patches like the other MJJC Lance left. Now, again, thicker foam doesn't always mean better. And as you can see here, that is proof. This foam isn't as thick as the MJJC Lance. However, it is still fairly thick and it is doing a cracking job at clinging to that paintwork and sticking around, giving maximum dwell time and maximum contact time on your paintwork, which is exactly what you want from a snow foam. And as you can see here, as I spray it on up close, it is like double cream. It is slowly dripping down that vehicle, and that is exactly what you want from your snow foam. Again, giving maximum dwell time and maximum contact time with your paintwork. Now we are going to let this dwell, and this is on 10 times speed, and we're already at 1 minute mark where the MJJC Lance had already had that snow foam come off in large chunks, and we are going to leave this to dwell as long as I physically dare. Now again, we are at the 5 minute mark. There we have it. Now that has dwelled for around about 5 minutes, and there was still a decent, consistent layer of snow foam on the paintwork. I'm going to show you, unlike the MJJC, when I go round after 5 minutes dwelling time, I'm going to show you up close, there is no real empty patches of paintwork like there was with the MJJC. You can still see there is a blanket of snow foam on the vehicle. The MJJC had already left massive dry patches. This has still got a nice blanket of foam, which means it's got maximum contact time, which is helping release that dirt on the vehicle. And you can see on the bonnet there, it is lifting that purple cherry bird poo that was on the bonnet, which is exactly what you want from your snow foam. Now again, after going around the vehicle and leaving it to dwell for 5 minutes and doing that little bit of filming, I think I got to around about 8 minutes of dwell time, and we come in to rinse that snow foam off. Now, as you can see, once that snow foam is rinsed off, the car does look a lot cleaner, but again, it's wet. A wet car will look shiny whether it's covered in dirt or not. But we are going to go down to the makeup pad test. So again, I have a fresh, clean makeup removal pad here. These are quite expensive because they are cotton ones. They are not like the normal ones you get from, like the disposable ones you get from Tesco's. This is quite an expensive one. Again, don't tell me why. So I'm doing 1, 2, and 3 swipes down the other side of the bonnet. Now, last time I did this side of the bonnet, I am doing the other side of the bonnet. As you can see, as I come over and show you guys, there's no dirt on that pad. Now, there's probably a tiny little bit of dirt, but the pad looks fairly clean. Now, if we compare that to the pad from just the rinse to now, you can see it is like night and day. The snow foam has removed a massive amount of dirt to the point where the pad looks clean after 3 swipes, not just 1 after the pre-rinse. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get it in the comments, people saying, oh, you only went over one place, you went over one stripe, what if that was a clean area? Well, just for you in the comments, I am going over the whole bonnet with that one clean pad. You can see I am going up and down over the whole bonnet. And you can see, look, there is a little bit of dirt on there. I'm not going to lie, but the pad is relatively clean. And we might as well go over the rest of the bonnet while we are here with that pad. And you can see there is a little bit of dirt on there. It isn't the cleanest pad in the world now. However, compared again to the pad when it was just a pre-rinse, again, it is like night and day. Now, I thought I'd take this a little bit further. And I thought, you know what? Let's see how far I can push it with this one clean pad. So I'm going to go around the whole vehicle, starting with the passenger side door. I'm going to go round, give that a nice little wipe over, and then we're going to come back and see how dirty the pad is. As you can see, that pad has come off relatively clean. So how far can I push it? I've done one door, I've done one bonnet. Let's do the rest of the vehicle. We're going over that boot, which was filthy, if you remember from the first half of the video. If you don't, pop back and have a look. But I'm going over the boot, I'm going over the spoiler, which was absolutely filthy, and I'm going over the side trim. I've gone over the whole vehicle. I've gone down the driver's side, I've gone down the passenger side, I've gone over the bonnet, and look at the pad. Yes, it has got dirt on it. Yes, it's not the cleanest in the world. However, compare it back to the pad after the first wipe over from just a pre-rinse. You can see there is a massive difference. That is one swipe over a pre-rinse car compared to a swipe over the whole car after snow foam. It has done a cracking job at removing that road grime, dirt that was all left after 2,000 miles of driving. Now, there is a bit of dirt that it didn't remove, and I didn't expect it to. No snow foam will remove all dirt. Don't get that misconception in your head. There is no miracle foam out there that will remove every single bit of dirt. And I didn't expect it to remove bugs and tar from the front bumper. However, it did a cracking job again at removing majority of the dirt that was on the vehicle. Again, that pad didn't come off sparkling clean. It come off with minor dirt on it compared to what it did when it was just a pre-rinsed panel. So we move on. Now they say it is a sugar-based, non-caustic snow foam with a decent pH that still bites into that dirt to help the removal of the dirt. So just for my curiosity, I wanted to find out the pH of this product. So I'm going to be testing it neat, and I'm going to be testing it at 7.5 mil to 42 mil, which is the equivalent of 75 mil to 425-ish mil of water. So neat, you can see that has gone fairly dark, and diluted down, you can see it is a lighter shade of green. Now, when I bring it in to the test paper to see where the pH scale sits, this was around about, I'd say, between sort of 10 and 11, really. It wasn't green, and it wasn't sort of bluish colour. It's sort of a greeny blue, so I would say it's between 10 and 11. Now, these test strips are not 100% accurate, so I would say that's sort of around about 10.5 to 11. And then once it has been diluted down, you are looking around about sort of between 9 and 10. So again, I'd say 9.5. Now, once that's gone through your snow foam lance, that will go down probably to more like between 7.5 to 8.5 pH, which is fantastic. Again, the product itself is non-caustic, so it's not going to damage any wax or sealant, but it is going to bite into that dirt and remove it, as you have already seen. It is a cracking snow foam. I am glad that I finally got round to trying it. Now, let's see how clean the vehicle was after the snow foam stage. Now, what an amazing difference compared to what it was like before I snow foamed the vehicle. The vehicle is looking clean, it is looking shiny, and on a push day, I could probably just leave it now like this and not worry about going over with a contact wash. However, there was still some dirt on the vehicle. It wasn't completely immaculately clean. However, you could get away with that if it was on your own vehicle and you thought, I've had enough today. Snow foam, rinse off, job done. And that is it, guys. That is the Garage Therapy Snow Foam. It is a cracking snow foam. Again, depending on how you dilute it, you could be using this at 70p per wash, which is not a bad price for a product that works. And also, if you use it through the correct foam lance, it is going to be an absolute banging product. Don't use the MJJC lance for this and wonder why it's not working. Use a proper foam lance. Use the Dodo Juice Foam Lance. So that is a cracking foam lance at a decent price. Go check it out. But also check the Garage Therapy Snow Foam out. As you can see, it removes dirt. It does what it says on the tin. And it's a fantastic price for a product that actually works. Now, guys, if you like what you've seen today, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell. Go find me on Instagram. Go find me on Facebook. Also, don't forget to go check out Garage Therapy Instagram. Maz from Garage Therapy is a top guy. And they do some cracking products. Guys, I've been a Hairy Housewife. You guys have been great. Stay tuned for more products, and I'll see you all again very soon.